You are somebody that I've. Is it weird to start that way?
Yeah, it's so weird to start with "You Are Somebody." It could go so many places, and I'm so excited to hear.
You are somebody I hate. No, you are somebody that I love, and somebody that I've had the opportunity to watch kind of come up the ranks and continue to get better and better and better, and somebody I already liked when I first met you, and the jokes that you have now are so sharp and so tight, and I'm just like, it's incredible to be able to see this process over the last few years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was great to be able to be a part of your special and to watch it all come together. And man, I just really wanted to say how well written you are and how fun you are to watch on stage.
You don't have to say that, Michael. You know, you don't have to. I don't know why I say that, but you really don't have to.
I mean it. And I want to, because you've lived all over. You've been in New York, you've been in Texas and LA and Dubai, London recently.
Yeah.
Do you attribute any of that kind of background and that those adjustments to those different settings to getting sharper, getting more polished, shaping those jokes?
It's not really even about the jokes at that point. I think what the moving has helped me with is acclimating to every different type of crowd.
Right.
Moving so much as a kid, making new friends, leaving those friends. It's a little bit like stand-up.
Yeah.
You have to make friends while you're in front of them because that's your job. You want them to like you and you want them to laugh. And then you kind of say goodbye to them. The chances of seeing that entire audience again, it's probably like winning the lottery. It's damn near high. But you'll meet like one or two people that'll stick around and you'll see again over and over. But for the most part, you just got to get used to saying goodbye to a group of people but making them happy. I feel like I've been doing that my whole life.
That's interesting. Yeah, because, oftentimes life will bleed into the act. I hate saying the act. It feels so, I don't know.
That's what it is, though.
Yeah, it is.
It's completely an act. It's a farce, a joke, a magic trick is what I really think a stand-up act is more like a magic trick.
Yeah. That's interesting. I try to think of stand-up as a secret. You know what I mean? Like this is a secret that we're in on right now, and nobody out there knows. And which all we have is right now, and we're in this moment, and you get to hear this, and don't tell the other people.
Yeah.
So I look at it like that, but yeah, it really is. It's interesting you say magic.
That's the same thing, yeah. Magic is secrets. Magic is like, hey, this is a secret. You never reveal your secrets.
Right.
That's why to me it just feels theatrical, and magic has that feel of everyone sits around and they're getting amazed. We kind of do that, but with words and character and body and wit.
You are somebody who is also just instantly likable once you hit the stage.
I think that comes with years of taking in crowds.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't always the case, and I don't think it always will be the case, but at the moment it's kind of easy, and you can tell when a crowd is going to be on my side or your side or whoever's side, and when they're not. There's those tester jokes up front, right? Your 5 jokes,
right?
Quick one-liners to gauge, like, are we going to be at a level 2 of laughter tonight? Can we reach a level 10 even? Like, is it impossible? Are we going to settle for like a 6 all the way through? Yeah. You have to be likable. It's easier to do comedy when you're likable.
Yeah, I think so.
Right?
It's harder when you're just a bully or something.
Yeah.
There are some comedians that have gotten away with being, but that has to
Tons.
be your whole gimmick.
Tons. There's tons of comics.
You're the bad guy.
Yeah,
you're
course.
the asshole or
the heel.
whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I've talked before with other people about comedy and wrestling and how similar they are, and it's just such a big over-the-top performance, and there's heels, and there's heroes, and there's,
I was going to say, but we don't take our clothes off, and then I remembered Bert Kreischer takes off his shirt.
From the top ropes, Bert Kreischer.
Yeah. He should be in the remake of that wrestler movie. It should be Bert Kreischer as Mickey Rourke. I'd watch the hell out of that movie.
What is your process like for something like this with filming a special? Do you work on it for months and months and months, or is it just these are the jokes that I have? Are you theming them? Because I know it's different for everybody. So what is your process for putting together a half hour?
Honestly, this material is lifelong material. It's material that I've had since the beginning of my stand-up career.
So you're mailing it in?
Not mailing it in, sharpening stories that I have to make them, Ferraris, make them quick, make them flashy, make them fun, not long-winded and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's material from years and years and years of writing. And the special came together a week before we filmed it. Literally,
wow.
Monday was the first time that I got to do it in its entirety. And I really didn't plan the order at all. I sort of fell into it. I fell into doing my biggest closer at the top of 10 minutes and then going into my relationship material and then closing with 2 other stories that I've been doing for a very long time. And that order fell into place while I was on stage on Monday because the audience was incredible.
Right.
The club was incredible. I was given the time to practice, to get the set together, because in Los Angeles, there was nowhere to do 30 minutes for me right now in front of a real audience that I'd be able to gauge what's happening. But the material itself was broken up, and I learned how to do it in 10-minute sets within the last, say, 6 months. Right?
Yeah.
It's just material that's come together recently, and then boom, it actually came into place on Monday, and we filmed it on Friday.
That's wild, because I've been watching you. I've been here since Tuesday, and I've been watching you go up every night, and it is so honed in. It feels so polished, and it feels so tight and ready.
Because the material is old. That's why. Because the material is
expired
old.
material.
It's not expired, but because it's never been out anywhere. So I can't even. After this, it's out on something, but I've never filmed it on anything. I've never had a 3-camera shoot film this material. Yeah. I've always wanted to, but it's never happened. So this is like when it's like, okay, now it's officially old material. If you see me doing this act now, it's old.
Now people are gonna heck. I've already seen
it. I've seen it. Boo!
Have you had bad shows like that? Have you had
The highlight one is at Pachanga.
Oh yeah.
I was doing Pachanga when I met Tiffany Haddish for the first time when we did a college together in New Jersey. She's like, you have to come do Pachanga. And I went up and I was bombing so hard. Somebody in the audience was like, just take off your shirt. And so I took off my shirt, and then they started clapping for me, and then I walked off stage. It was really bad.
Oh my God.
That's definitely the worst out of like, I didn't know what I was doing. Also, I was like pretty new into comedy as well.
Yeah. That's so wild.
What about you?
Oh man. I've had some bad. I had a bad at Pachanga. I had a bad set, and it was being taped for television. And that's, when you don't want to have a bad set.
Yeah.
That's the worst time you could have a bad set. And they were just long. They were long tapings.
Was it laughs or something?
Yeah,
else?
and they were, and it was like, they'd have 10 or 12 of us on the lineup, and you exhaust an audience like that. And man, yeah, I had to do crowd work on a TV taping, which is like not ideal again. Yeah. And but we got through it, Did
you take your shirt off?
Yeah, I had to take my shirt off. That's the way to get out of a bad set every time.
Bert Kreischer, baby. Does it up top.
Does it right up top.
Right
so
up
he
top.
Can't bomb.
He can't bomb.
That's it.
You can't bomb with your shirt off.
You're bomb-proof.
You're bomb-proof.
What is the joke writing process for you?
Think of something funny or see something funny or manipulate something in real life and make it funny. So do something. Think about that thing that I did. See if there's an alternate angle that makes it funny. Put it into a bit.
How often are you taking something from life? Because you did this week. Twice I watched you while we're running this set for the special, and we're getting it really, really dialed in. early in the week, you were riffing about things that you were doing in the hotel the night before. Then one night you had a car accident this week.
Yeah.
And you were riffing about that on stage one night in the middle of like running this really tight set for the special. So how often does that happen where life happens and then either that night or the next night after that it's on stage?
Once or twice a month, something funny will happen that's good enough for a bit.
Yeah.
And then I'll practice those two things on stage for a few weeks until it either sticks or goes in the trash. So like there's certain things that will remain funny the more you say it, and there's certain things that are only funny for about a week or two, and then they're just no longer worth keeping around, or it's just bad.
What are the odds? What's the over-under on keeping a bit of the survival rate?
Let's say 1 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah, 1 out of 10.
How long before you go, that bit's it doesn't work?
14 years. I'm willing to try it for 14 years.
Yeah, after that.
After 14 years, I'll give it one more week. And then if it's still not where I like it, trash.
Scrapping it, baby.
I don't need you anymore.
You opened up the set with talking about your family a little bit. You joke about how Omid means hope, and they hoped I was a doctor or whatever, and then an engineer, and then you go on. Is there a little truth to this? How does your family feel about the comedy path?
Totally fine.
Really, they're very supportive.
Oh yeah, totally fine with it.
Have they seen your set?
Yeah, but my mom tells me I'm not her favorite comedian. So I'm okay with that. My mom texted me the other day. She's like, "Have you seen Andrew Santino's Cheeseburger? I saw it on Netflix. Really good." I'm like, "You're watching Andrew Santino?" She's like, "Yeah, I really liked him." I was like, "All right, cool, yeah."
Your mom's pretty hip.
Yeah, she watches stand up. She loves Nate Bargatze. She likes Andrew Santino.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really into comedy.
She's like, I don't care for your stuff.
She literally comes to my shows to see other comedians, which is fine. I get it. She still loves me.
Right.
But she really loves Tehran. She really loves Amir K. Yeah. She's got a lot of favorites.
She's like, Omid, you're great, but Russell Peters is
Russell Peters is so... Maz Jobrani, come on. He's family. I'm like, Mom.
You do talk about how other family members have kind of taken that pressure off of you, too, with other things in life, not necessarily like career-wise, but with family and having children and marriage and all those, societal markers. You
know who's giving me the hardest time about it? My sister.
Really?
Yeah, my sister now will bring up, when are you getting married? When are you having kids? And I'm like, you? You're turning on me now? I thought I was out of this. You're doing this to me?
You too, Judas?
You too? Which
them
is me.
I understand, you?
But you? I would never do this to you. I would never.
Are you and your sister close?
Super close.
Yeah.
Yeah, super close. I could never understand our relationship, but we're super close. We just have this weird connection, I'd say. I feel like I'm just always traveling with her.
Really?
Yeah. Just feels like it.
Do you mean that in like a metaphor way, or you mean you're actually really traveling with her?
No, like a metaphor way. Like, I think growing up with her, us moving around so much, kind of has like an invisible bond.
Yeah. It's
just a strong one. I just get it. I feel her where she is and all that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Has she seen your set?
Yeah. Negan was actually a comedian before I was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My sister was an improviser in high school. That's how I got into comedy, was watching my sister do improv with her senior friends.
Oh, wow.
And that's what got me into stand-up. But that's the long way, because I started in improv and then went into stand-up.
Did you not enjoy improv? Or
I loved improv.
Yeah.
I was huge into improv, and then went to UCB in New York and did the 101 through 401 classes. Then I applied for advanced study, never got in. And then I moved back to LA, applied for advanced study again, didn't get in. And then by that point, I was like, well, I'm just going to do more stand-up. So then I just kept doing stand-up after that.
When's the last time you did improv?
Years ago. It's a completely different muscle.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get back into it.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to make any jokes in improv. You're supposed to be a character and let the scene breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And as a stand-up, because usually we're alone on stage, the pressure to be the one talking is so high that it doesn't help in improv where your stage work is really what could make a scene hilarious.
The skills are opposite.
Yeah.
I started in stand-up, and then I went over to the improv world for a little while and loved it. But it is about building, and it's about setting up the other people that are on stage with you, where, stand-up is very solo, very selfish, and it's hard to get used to those two things.
Yeah.
But I feel like the advice that I give a lot of stand-ups that are starting out, that are like, well, what should I be doing? How should I be, what should I be working on? I always tell them, even if you're interested in improv or not, take an improv class.
Take everything, yeah.
Take everything. And because it teaches you, improv specifically teaches you to listen, and it teaches you to build. And so if you are trying to get stronger on stage and be better on stage, it also teaches you to be way more comfortable, because the pressure, like you said, is off of you. And so you're learning how to just be on stage with improv.
So that's me at 14.
Oh, wow. So you started at 14.
14 doing improv my freshman year of high school. I made it onto the Comedy Sports high school improv team.
Wow.
So I've been doing it a long time. So for 4 years, it was just improv in high school.
Yeah.
And then senior year, I realized that, oh, wait, everybody on the improv team is like going to be breaking up and going to different places.
Yeah.
Let's put on a stand-up night. So we put on a stand-up night because I was like theater department and all that kind of stuff was easy. So we put on a stand-up night. All the comics from, the improv team are going to do a couple minutes. I billed myself as last.
Hey, you're already a headliner, baby.
I'm already a headliner, baby. Like, I can use this as a credit. But I stole all the material from Eddie Izzard.
No.
From like 2 albums, like that I was like, no one's ever going to know
right.
that I'm using his material. So I did like a bunch of his jokes. And then I didn't know how to close. I didn't know how to like get off stage because I didn't know. I just kept talking, and then I fell into a bit that got a huge laugh, and then I just said good night and I walked off stage, and it was incredible. Then everyone called me out for it. They're like, you're doing Eddie Izzard's bits," and I was like, I don't know.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him. I just got all these CDs underneath my bed. Yeah, I did that.
That's so interesting. I started really young, too. I started at 19, and that's when I started doing stand-up and was just kind of thrown into that world.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's better that way when you start young and you're learning, and I feel like you're able to take more in, and also you're able to live pretty poor at a young age.
Yeah. I mean, Denny's. I feel like Denny's was my teens.
Yeah.
A lot of trips to Denny's.
Yeah.
Just like going there after every improv match, and it was so fun. It was a long time ago.
Yeah. So you've had a long history here at Brad's too. How long have you been playing here?
8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
8 years.
What does it feel like? 'Cause you started here. You started playing this room in the MC slot, right?
Yeah.
And now you're filming a special here. It's almost like a homecoming feeling, I can imagine. How does that feel? What does that feel like to be back here and to be like, this is...
It makes me so happy because I have this memory that never leaves my brain of the Mirage, the hotel here in Vegas. There's like a little entranceway where there's these 2 mermaids, these brass mermaids. And I've been seeing these mermaids ever since I was a kid. And that's Las Vegas to me. And it's the family trips that my dad, my mom, my sister, and I used to take. We used to come to Las Vegas. And my sister and I would go to the arcade, and then we would go to the buffet. And then as a family, we'd go see Siegfried and Roy.
Right.
And we did that twice a year, I think. A lot. We saw Siegfried and Roy a ton. Those tigers and I were like this. Yeah. So to be in Vegas at the MGM, which is a Mirage property, with Brad with the, cast of people that work here, it's incredible. Pinch myself. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah, this is a one of the few clubs where it feels like family when you're here. The staff, there's
Like
not
an
a lot
Olive
of
Garden.
turnover. Yeah. Yes, this club is a lot like an Olive
Garden.
Garden. Yeah, I'll let Brad know you said that. There's a
Brad sticks. Can I get some Brad sticks?
no, there's not a lot of turnover. It's usually the same. You expect to see the same people, the same faces when you're here,
Yeah.
and everybody's so friendly and nice, and it's so welcoming, and all those things. It really does feel like a home away from home for somebody like us who have been playing here for so long.
Yeah.
And
We've worked here together.
yeah, I think this is where I met you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you crushed one night. I think it was either the first or second time I saw you was here, and it was you and Ken Gar, and you were coming in to play Brad's poker tournament for the
Right.
charity, and I think I was middling for Brad or something like that, and you guys had stopped in, and Brad was like, "Oh, you guys got to do a set," and you both crushed that night, and man, yeah, you really, really did.
5 minutes, right?
Yeah, and it was just crushing. And I was like, who are these guys? What is happening?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
those 5 minutes, I'm sure I did them last night too at the taping. I'm sure some of those 5 minutes was the subway joke must have been.
Yeah,
in
it wasn't longer than 14 years ago. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it wasn't longer than
definitely
14 years. So I'm still trying out those bits.
seeing if they work.
See if they work.
But
But last night, my God, that was like the best case scenario for all those jokes.
yeah.
Crazy.
If you had any words of wisdom, any advice for somebody out there who is wanting to do comedy or somebody who is just starting to do comedy,
It's too late. If you're thinking about doing comedy, it's too late.
it's too late.
Get on TikTok. Dance, edit some videos. You're going to go to a club. You're going to hang out for 17 hours at a club. You're going to sign up for an open mic on a Tuesday and show up next Tuesday at 5:30? No, you're not.
just get on TikTok.
Just get on TikTok, man. AI generate yourself into something. And I don't know. If you want to do stand-up, do stand-up. But to be like a touring stand-up comedian, it's hard.
Yeah.
I wouldn't suggest it.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't, especially if you're over 14 years old. Like, if you're 13, yeah, all right, go ahead, start doing stand-up. If you're 18, no. No.
Just the dream is gone.
Dream's gone. You didn't jump on board at 13, 14.
You've missed out.
You missed out.
You're too old for
You're
Hollywood.
too old. Yeah. First things first. You're too old for Hollywood. At least wait till you're 50. Wait till
Yeah.
you have a family and some support
Right.
and some skills. And then at
401k.
A 401k. And then at 50, go ahead and start doing stand-up. You'll do better.
You'll do way better.
Skip the grind. That's my advice. Anyone who wants to do comedy out there, skip the grind and meet us at the top. Don't worry about the bottom. Don't worry about the middle. Skip it. Mario yourself to that secret world with that flute. And
Love it.
yeah.